Time for another movie review. Matthew McConaughey, Joe, come on, give me some credit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll give you that. It's pretty good.
Right. Unfortunately, this movie
Was not good.
Was not as good. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The Dark Tower it's dull. It's boring at times. Surprisingly, because the pace is like
way too fast.
Yeah.
I understand. It's like what, like 7 or 8 books?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think this is going to cover one of the books. Me and Joe are not the book readers,
not at all.
so we're coming in fresh. And so we're not going to have this huge expectation of, are they going to get the gunslinger right, rolling right? Are they getting the mythos correct? This could be a huge insult to the actual mythos, and we wouldn't even know. But we wanted to give you our unique perspective because I like sci-fi. I love Westerns. And
What a great combination, right?
yeah, it's a great. Well, it should have been.
In theory.
In theory, it should have been. And I went in this with wanting to give the film the benefit of the doubt because I had heard some reviews prior. You know, we've been taking a break from movie reviews a little bit, and so I was watching other people, and they were like ripping into this thing, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like a 17% or a 19%.
Really?
So I really thought that this film was going to be fucking awful, but it's not. It's just dull and boring. Not boring. Like the best action scenes are the ones that you've seen in the trailer, and it sucks so bad because I like Idris Elba. I think he's a great actor, but he has nothing to really work with here. In fact, he's probably the best part of the film.
He tries so hard, but he can't save it.
He can't save it. I thought going into this, Matthew McConaughey was going to be just over the top, just ridiculous. But even I thought his performance was all right. You know, with this guy who has the powers. He's not the devil, but he's just a man in black, right? Oh yeah, sorcerer, where he pretty much can say, stop breathing, fucking die, or tells little girls, hate your mother. Just what the fuck is the motivation of this guy? Anyway, so his motivation is he wants to destroy the Dark Tower, and kids apparently have the power of their minds to destroy the Dark Tower, which protects our universe and other universes. And we have basically Jacob Chambers, played by Tom Taylor here, is this central kid who has a gift, and he has a lot of psychic power or whatever. And so they're out to capture the kid, while Roland, our gunslinger, is supposed to protect the Dark Tower and has a personal connection with the man in black, Matthew McConaughey's character.
I had no connection with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that right off the back.
Yeah, that's the movie's problem.
With any character, besides the mom, because she was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
And it's unfortunate because they do put his family in danger, and you don't really give a shit about anything. And Jacob Chambers has. His father was a firefighter, and he passed away, and that leaves a scar on him. But none of this stuff, while it's explored in the movie, ever evokes an emotional response from you. The movie
real quick,
flat.
But not enough depth.
Right, and that's why a lot of people tried to bring the Dark Tower to the big screen. I've heard J.J. Abrams attached. I've heard Ron Howard, and I think Ron Howard even was a producer on this one.
Really?
But it ends up being this guy. I'm going to get his name right. Nico Raz Arcel.
I'm gonna say you butchered that name.
Yeah, I probably butchered it, but I think maybe he was wrong for this particular movie, and also the focus and the writing in this film was wrong. That's the problem with the Dark Tower. Why would you make this series, which has lasted 8 books, and has this great gunslinger character, regardless of what color he is, because obviously in the books he was white, in this one it's Idris Elba, he's black. That doesn't bother me, just like it doesn't bother Stephen King. I did like how the gunslinger looks like fucking Clint Eastwood, right? So I'm expecting a kind of film like a spaghetti western, not a spaghetti western, but a western in some way that focuses on your best part of the film, which is the gunslinger.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't focus on the gunslinger. He is more in a supporting role for this kid, you know? And unfortunately, Tom Taylor, you know, doesn't even really have a character arc. He's just this kid that things happen to him, and
He's dreams shit
up, and the shit was real. And he's got the same look on his face no matter what happens, you know? And so when you make the kid the central focus of the film, it really destroys any potential that this franchise had. You can't come out with such a slow burn on your first film if you wanted this thing to be a franchise, because clearly they did, you know? And you were telling me that you were thinking Idris Elba has some emotional issues, because one minute he's, you know, tell us about that part.
Well, it was also, I guess, the transition part, because, like, he finds a kid, and the kid's like, hey, you're a gunslinger. He's like, who are you? Who sent you? He's pushing him off the cliff. And then a second later, it's a cutscene, and he's looking at these drawings. It's like, oh, these drawings. How did you know about this? I was like, wait, what, did I miss something?
Yeah.
What happened in between?
His relationship when he first encounters the kid in this new world, they can travel through the different universes or worlds through these portals, and he encounters and it's just everything feels so condensed that it's
Way
no
too
longer
condensed.
believable. There's the great stuff comes from when he comes to Earth. He's like, you're gonna like Earth because there's a lot of bullets on Earth. He's like, But I just didn't even sell that reaction very well either. But anyway, he comes to Earth, and here's the good stuff. It's like a fish out of water, and it's funny. You know, we've seen it. But actually, we've seen that a lot in recent. We've seen it done better in Wonder Woman and things like that. But it was so damn short. I was like, man, this could have been a full episode on television or something like that, or two. And you can tell that the film really suffers from it. But I am not mad at the film for not being longer, because honestly, I couldn't really take much more of it. Very dull, boring. The climactic battle between Roland and the Man in Black is hilarious. Joe pointed out, he was like, I don't buy it, I'm sorry.
No.
And we got to talk about that in spoilers.
It kills me. That kills me.
But we'll make this one short. Little Joe, I'm sorry for dragging you to this one. I keep dragging you guys to bad films, but you know what?
Right?
When we review films, Joe, there's going to be good ones and there's going to be bad ones. I like watching films every week, and I was hoping so much that Dark Tower would be good and it would hold up this week.
I honestly did too.
Yeah.
I did not know what to expect from it, but like I honestly thought, I was like, okay, Matthew McConaughey, Idris Elba, it's got to be a great movie. It's like kind of like a Western sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's something that definitely made me interested in the book series, because I can see some interesting ideas here, and maybe it works better on the page when you're using your own imagination. And maybe I didn't think it was that bad of a film as 1 or 2 out of 10, because I was using my imagination to fill in the blanks, you know,
So
and I
was
was trying to give
kind of far-fetched at times.
the benefit of the doubt, but I was doing that too much, you know, and there was just nothing there. There was no meat on the bones, so to speak. So The Dark Tower is a huge disappointment for non-fans like us. We just thought it was incredibly dull and plotting, and the pace is all over the place. And for book readers, from I'm hearing,
I'm pretty sure you hate it.
if you're a book reader, you
I'm pretty
probably
sure you
hate
hate
this
it,
fucking
right?
thing. Yeah, because I'm pretty it can be focused that much on sidelining Idris Elba. You know, they wanted to make a franchise out of it. Not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Off to
So
a good start.
we'll give it a final ratings. We'll start with Little Joe. Little Joe, what do you rate this film out of 10? Always the angriest here on our show.
Good thing we censor him.
Good thing, yeah. Other Joe, what are you thinking?
I honestly am gonna give this a 3.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, a
Okay.
3.
I didn't expect you to go that low. But that's,
Terrible transitions. I did not like that at all. It kind of took me out of the movie.
when you say transitions, you mean like pacing from scene to scene. It's
Yeah.
as if so much more time should have passed.
It
and
was
these people
going by
bar-
way too
yeah.
fast.
Oh,
Like I
gotcha.
was trying to keep up. Like I was just trying to focus. I was like, okay, what's going on? And I was actually trying to pay attention. No character development.
Right.
I honestly did not care about anybody. in
Again,
this
they didn't
movie.
give us time to care.
No, not
No
enough.
time to care. So
So,
3 out
yeah.
of 10. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
and
real rough.
honestly, the climax didn't do for me either.
No, we got to talk about that in a second. So,
Yeah.
final
So
verdict for
3.
the film
3.
from me is a 5 out of 10.
5.
It's average to me. I think there's
Really?
half a movie here, and that's probably because I wanted to
We
like
watched the
this
full
film.
movie.
I gave it
We
the
watched
benefit
the full
of the
movie. How are you
doubt.
going to tell me this half a movie? We watched the full movie.
It was half there. Okay, it probably deserves more of like a 4 out of 4 or 3 if I was a book reader.
Okay.
But I guess I just set my expectations way too low. And I came in thinking, well, it wasn't that bad, but it was really boring. It's one of those films that has the audacity of being so mediocre that I hate it. You know what I mean? Because you have bad films that are just fucking awful and cheesy and
But
cringworthy.
I love bad
but there's
films at
something
points,
about
yes,
them. This one is not that. It's not good. It's not super bad. It's just and ain't no way they're gonna be a Dark Tower 2. I'll tell you that much. I will be surprised. I will be shocked with
I'm
Hollywood.
surprised you gave it a 5. Honestly.
Yeah, I tried to fill in the blanks. I love westerns, Joe. I love the idea of there being these multiple worlds and these sort of creatures coming from outside.
Yeah.
And fucking Roland is the one, and just the action scenes, but there really wasn't that many of them. All right, first time ever
See?
in a review. I'm changing the score mid-review. 4 out of 10.
Okay,
I'm still giving it a little bit of better, slightly below average, because you're right. It's like an average movie, but it could have been so much more.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's 8 books.
You even said yourself, I found myself filling in the blanks.
Right,
You
I was
shouldn't
filling in the
be.
blanks too much. I shouldn't. So 4 out of 10.
Okay.
And that's it for our review of The Dark Tower, an incredible disappointment. It's like a Netflix film. When it gets to Netflix, that's when you can see it.
Or if obviously you're reading the books, just stay away from the movie.
Stay away from the movie if you're... Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys, that's it. And stick around for the spoiler section so we can talk about all the stupid shit. And I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. All right, welcome to the spoilers section. So we want to talk about right away the climax of the film. So you've got this man in black who's like this fucking badass. He can do anything he wants. Just
Anything.
basically go to sleep or you fucking die. You're dead. I hate your mother. Shove your ice cream in her face. Even that scene would have been better than what we got. He's just like, hate. And the little girl looks at her mother all mean.
And that's it.
Yeah. Joe was
That's the
like, why
kind of
didn't she
scene-
like stab her or do something? I was like, well, Joe, I think they're trying to make it for kids too. And that is the mistake that this film
It
makes.
was too kiddie, I guess.
Yeah, it was too kiddie. We were hoping for Clint Eastwood style, focus on the gunslinger, have the kid come in and be a sidekick and figure this thing out, but focus on Roland, his backstory, his father, his conflict with, the man in black. All that stuff is way more interesting. The battle that we never saw between, the man in black and the gunslingers, where he wipes out all the gunslingers
Allstate
except
guy.
for... And the Allstate guy,
Come on.
his father, right? And we don't get to see all the Allstate guy fight. He's just like, stop breathing. And so that stuff is so cringeworthy and so cheesy and so contrived.
So cheap.
And it works on paper, it works on a book because you can, see the images in your head and make the images better than what we saw here on the screen. But in this film, it's just not working out. So all the battles, he's overpowered as fuck. The explanation is his powers don't work on Roland for some reason. Do we get Do we get an idea why? No.
No,
You
it
know,
doesn't
nothing.
work. That's it.
Roland's just special.
Read the book.
Accept it. Read the fucking book. You know, so it's like that kind of stuff is like,
don't
all
know.
right, well, that's the interesting stuff that you could have explored. And I'm doing the review within the spoiler section when I should have put this in the review section. But anyway, so finally we get to this climax where the man in black captures Jacob, puts him in the chair so he can use his mind to shoot the Dark Tower. And Roland is almost there. And so the man in black's like, finally, I've got to confront him myself. He walks out of the tower, and I'm like, all right, we're going to see some pretty cool shit here. And what we get is hilarious. Of course, you know.
Everything you see in the trailer, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's all spoiled by the trailer.
Yeah.
So he shoots, you know, tremendously fast, and the man in black uses rocks to stop him, and then glass somehow is able to deflect bullets.
Because he's like shooting glass, and then he's blocking it.
But glass is deflecting bullets, Joe.
That's not where I.
Okay, where did the film lose you? Okay, so you know, basically, Man in Black beats the hell out of Roland, hits him with beams and shit and rocks and fucking falls. The roof falls in on Roland, and that's it. He's gonna win. But the little kid recites the creed, the oath of the gunslinger, which I gotta say, even when I'm trying to like the film, it's just stupid. This creed, and the book readers are probably going to be mad at me for that. Probably. But I think this creed is just stupid sounding, guys. I kind of like it, and I kind of hate it.
I guess
you forgot your father's face.
Portrayed it in the movie.
You forgot your father's face.
Fuck.
You're a bad person for forgetting your father's face. Well, what about people whose fathers don't like them or leaves them? You know what I mean? It's anyway. So if your mother's the most important to you, well, you forgot your father's face. You're a bad person. Anyway, so he recites the creed, which gives Roland the inspiration to do this.
This is where I was like, no fucking way.
You lost me.
You fucking lost me 100%.
I rarely hear Joe make a noise in the theater, but I heard Joe. I was like, okay, that was fucking stupid.
Okay, so just when you thought he was down and out, you hear this whole speech coming about. He's like, I shoot from my heart, blah, blah, blah. He grabs his gun. He shoots the man in black. So he shoots the guy. The bullet starts flying.
It's a straight one.
It's a straight bullet.
And Man in Black has been catching all the bullets the whole time.
He's doing all this
so he's going
bullshit.
to do it.
So he does that. A couple seconds later, he shoots the side of the beam while the bullet's still going. Ricochets and somehow catches up to the other fucking bullet, pushes it, and hits his heart. No fucking way.
The second bullet traveled faster than the first bullet on a straight path. And this whole movie, he's doing ridiculous shit like that. But shit that we're like, all right,
that is what lost me. I'm sorry. Hate me if you want.
We were like, okay, so he could hear everything and hear his surroundings. He could shoot through two buildings.
I'll give you that. I'll give you all the ricochet. Ricochet that. Go hit this, and hit a fucking tin can on that side. Do all this circles.
But the second,
no, you're gonna shoot straight. A minute later.
Yeah, he does take forever. He's like,
a minute later, shoot the beam, ricochet that off, and then somehow catching up.
It's okay. It's okay. No. So that pretty much lost us right there, and we're like, okay, wow. When you're doing that in the climax, and then Roland unloads on him. Man in Black is dead. The most interesting conflict I feel in this franchise, from what the movie has shown us, is now over. It's over. I think there was a after credits scene where you hear a whistle and you think maybe it's the Man in Black, but what? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. Right. I don't want any more.
As soon as it was over, you're like, what the fuck? All right.
Yeah. Go. So, I mean, they had some CGI in here as well, which was not very good. They had some demons breaking through the universes because, you know, again, the Dark Tower keeps all of the creatures and the darkness and evil at bay from these different universes. And there are rifts being created, like red it's just a really cheesy TV looking effect, and some demons come through, and Roland shoots at it with his guns, and the whole fucking rift disappears. I'm like, really? Your guns are that powerful? So why does Roland? So another thing I got to address
45s.
is he's using old Western guns, and I fucking love, like Cold Peacemakers and that kind of thing. But even I was like, all right, Roland, maybe you should upgrade your gun, because you're constantly having to reload creatively over and over. But they explain that and say that his guns are forged from the steel of Excalibur. Or they use a different word, but they're like, on Keystone Earth, which is our Earth, it's forged from Excalibur. So because the bullets, it's not the bullets themselves that are magical, it's the fact that they're fired through the gun, which is Excalibur. But if you want, just fucking melt those guns down and create a fucking, a machine gun and, M16, MP5,
it wouldn't work.
anything. But whatever. Okay, fine, Roland. But Gunsling, it's romantic, it's interesting, and honestly, it's the best part of the film. But there are so many better westerns out there, and that you could go for those kinds of things. Barely any action.
They should have put more emphasis on the guns and
more emphasis on Roland, the gunslinger, and his world, his history with the Man in Black, his father, the fucking battle that we didn't see. Everybody's just laying on the ground. There's like 1 or 2 tents. It's like, where did all this money go to? It doesn't. It feels like a TV movie almost.
Way too kiddie.
Yeah, it almost feels like a TV movie. So that's it. We spoiled the ending for you. Now you don't need to go and see it. He ricochets a bullet 3 hours after he fires the original bullet and lost the whole audience. And even people who were kind of enjoying it by the end, we heard some couple who's like, did you like it? Well, did you like it? And when you start to hear that from a normal audience, then the answer is no, because they don't want to say, well, you took me on this date and the movie sucked, or something like that. But anyway, Dark Tower, again, huge disappointment, guys.
Just wait
save
for
your money.
it on rental or Netflix or something.
Don't rent it. Don't spend your money on it. Wait till it comes out on Netflix or on television. And read the books instead. If they do books or comic books or graphic novels, I'm into that, and I kind of want to jump in. Now, I have no time for 8 novels, so that's why I was hoping this would be good. So maybe there's a graphic novel or a comic book or something like that I can kind of see it, because if the film did one thing, it made me kind of interested in this lore and to see this done better, and I'm pretty sure it's done better in the books. All right, guys? So that's it for this episode. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.